gotta get water. I had to do water. Luckily, look, good. See, it trips pretty good. I just put it up here on the bow. The last part, this all goes in the bow and that, and got empty water bottles. So I have to kind of switch when I got empty water bottles. You know, it's the weight. Most of the weight has to be right here, right there, or right here. I mean, that's a lot of weight back here. My dirty clothes, this will all go in the tent bag. .230 loop bridge in Smithville Tower. River mile. Got some obstacles from here all the way to Plum Park. That's why I wanted to hit it all in the morning. A lot of metal. You gotta go way down. This is always weird. You get right on the bank. You get right up to the bank there. And it's just a lot of .71 bridge. River Bend Park. 208 approximate. Straight away. Yeah, there's quite a few camp options. I think most of them are river right, heading down for the first 5 miles past Vernon L. Richards, River Bend Park. I mean islands and sometimes islands. Anything until I get off the rocks. Yeah. Not a problem. Shallow right there. I don't know. I think I can get. It's a little tough. Gotta figure it out. Cross that sucker, see? Just what I want. Eddy out right here. Turn around. Turn around, don't drown. I'll miss it all. fishing over. Maintenance station. River right. River left or river right? Midday snack. River mile. Probably 197, 198. Highway to Plum, which is about 191. So it's still early and pretty good. There would have been good. Would have been better off on the river right. A few miles, about 3 or 4 miles of bends. A couple straightaways on the bend. I'm past, coming up to one right now. Be a transmission line somewhere along this section. shortly up here. Some good camp options on this easterly stretch. River mile 193, I'm about in the middle of it. The easterly stretch, see, I don't see any cattle. Or the northern section, north-northeast. Huh. I think I usually paddle river left here. Left of this island. Slide right out right here. Option right there, right before plum. Transmission lines, railroad bridge. So 5 miles. We got 5 miles to Plum Park. So that'll be the end of my paddle today somewhere. I might even stay at Plum. So I'll have to start earlier tomorrow. Start making up some time. The stretches are gonna be longer. Yale Railroad Bridge. Hour and a half to go before camp. $4.50. Right. Got to be the last transmission line. Plum. So Plum's about 1.5 miles downriver from this transmission line. Thinking it should be, according to my time, what time it is, and let's see. Looks like it. little over 19 miles today, so I'm short. I'm gonna make up some mileage tomorrow. Probably camp pretty close to here, if not at Plum Park. I may not camp here, I may go down a little bit, but I got other spots too. I'm gonna stop for a minute though. You know, there's walkway up, but you know, people drive down here and walk down here. Beautiful day in a neighborly hood. Alright, I pretty much got all my coffee going. I'm going up to get water. Use that to fill up my other bottles, so that's just about right. Not too much weight and plenty of water. It's a mess in here this morning. I got everything. Trying to put stuff away. I'm still charging one battery. Gotta walk all the way up to the station there to get water. Make it. You don't want to strain it. So I filled up my waters. Back to the long climb down. See, nice restroom. You got a little climb there to get up to the water. Back to the waterfront. Park on the Colorado, River Mile 191. This was, what was this? Camp night 5. So I got 2 more camp nights. So I'm heading to LaGrange right now. Is 173 to Buffalo Trail. I don't know why. Little camp options right below Plum. I like stopping at Plum because of the refilling of water. It's pretty easy other than the walk, and the restroom is nice. We're coming up to river left to Spring Branch Creek. Spring Branch. Yeah, Buffalo Wallow Rapids should be about a little over an hour from here. Like the flow over here. Long southerly stretch. South and a little bit southwest. Make another sharp turn and we'll be heading down towards Buffalo Wallow. I think I had to get out here one time during a lightning storm. Like a great spot. This will be Buffalo Wallow stretch. I don't see any signs of cattle. Buffalo Wallow we should be looking at, you just can't see it. Right at the end of this straightaway. 2 or 3 more little rapids. You can hear the rapids. Anyway, nice little path, but when it's slow, if you get hung up, I mean, you're in bad shape. And I always do river left. I mean, I have done river right one time, and I just couldn't, I really got hung up. Big rock, big shell here. Around here you can't. Now this is where I cut in. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is all you can do. This is what you run into. Below that rock shell. Not bad today. I mean, sometimes you gotta stay. Go over all the rocks. I've been tracking about, my average so far is about 3.4, maybe it's 3.5. I was hoping to be right around 3.6, sometimes I am. I got 3 days to go and I'll look at my average again every day. Nice little overnight camp spot. Mean water level. Easy camp. Up ahead, River Mile 183, Rabbits Creek, and Blair Branch. So we're almost to the Red Bluff. .183 and Blair Branch Creeks. Yeah, they come out together there. River Mile 183. A nice camp option. I go this way, river left. We're coming up to Red Bluff. Look. That's the stretch downriver from. There's a lot of spots once you really got to know what you're looking for, but also it's different every time, the water level. River Mile 182. Let's see, roughly 9 miles from Buffalo Trail Park in LaGrange. Right here. mainly river right, but I mean, I can always go the other way. That's right. Ready, Eddie. See my Eddie. I don't want to get sideways. Look at those stakes up there. And those are these, yeah. Maybe this is that gnarly spot. This is nice. This is rough rock. Trying to get in between. Yeah. Before you hit LaGrange. Too many sweeps over there. That's where the possible camp option. No, it's pretty almost there. Yeah, that's where the camp. I gotta make it a little further. And, just right before LaGrange. Nice spot here. Camp night 6. Just on the edge of town here. LaGrange. Just before LaGrange. Maybe a mile, river mile. About 170, I think, about right here. Little island right before he hit town. It was getting late and I didn't want to go past. I didn't want to sleep at Buffalo Trail Park. Nice. Yeah, I'm just look at the water line. That's as high as it comes. I'm watching the mean levels, you know, as long as you get that bow. I like to get that bow just above the mean water level. Just leaving Camp 6. Just up from Buffalo Wallow. I mean, just up from Buffalo Trails Park. So we'll see how it goes. It's supposed to be a heck of a wind today. I keep trying to launch, but I running into camera problems. I'm shooting a video. Nice little spot. transmission line. And so we're almost there. Right before the bridge here. 71 bridge. About a mile above Buffalo Trails Park. The side of the bridge there. We're about River Mile 173, Buffalo Trail Park, river left. This is where Steve and I came out last time, a couple years ago. A number of times. Pretty handy. Alright. White Rock's next. 77 bridge. So you can see those tall lights of White Rock from here. White Rock, river left, 171. Right out of White Rock. Long stretch. Pretty big park. I've been up in there before. Man, it's a walk up there. Also, a lot of these straightaways you have to zigzag if you want to stay in the current. More and more you'll have to go kind of bank to bank. And it gets really, you end up in dead water. Like they say, follow the bubbles. They generally drop down that way. It tells me all this is all real shallow. I don't keep it in there. No problem. There. These things so you can really. So now I have to go back over here a little ways, but I'm just saying it's fun. I don't mind. Let's see. But a lot of zigzagging on these wider portions of the river. If you get out too far, you might hit a rock. You have to really look for a high spot. There's some low islands here. Oh, I'm sure there might be There's the medium water level. Yep. Nice little camp options there. Nope. I was thinking this might be Rocky Creek. 3/4 of a mile before we get to Rocky Creek. Alright, there's a transmission line, so we're getting close to Rocky Creek. I look for it after a while. I'm not quite there. So many camp options, both sides, river left and right. right above LaGrange as well. But these are even better, right below LaGrange. I'm sure I've stayed on a few of them. Some of the ones I've been camping on lately wouldn't even be around if it's a different level, you know, river level. You don't have as many options. Sometimes, you know, sometimes islands will turn into a, you know, if it's real low, they'll turn into an island and have cattle on it. Structure up here. I think that's river left as well. It's on this easterly track that's coming up. That right bank's where to go, but yeah, probably most of the spots I've been able to camp on and just be right there, right by the water in my boat, would be gone with a little higher water level, you know. Hardly any of those would be there. It gets harder and harder to find camp spots, so that's one big advantage of not paddling multi-days on very high water levels, because you just so, in the camping situation, your options are slim to none sometimes. Yeah, river left, I think. Yep. Yep. Here. Yeah, this is a pretty big power line. This is at intake, water intake. And we're real close to Valle Creek. So yeah, I've been waiting to water intake. Got some sandy spots over there. I look for cow patties or just a lot of foot traffic, you know, animal foot traffic, period. Penciled in a number of islands on this short little stretch. I mean, camp options. I got about 4 all the way to the turn. Sort of pipeline. Yeah, it feels good. Finally got a little breeze. I was out of the breeze for a while. Oh yeah, this is really good. Only way out here. Only way out of here. There's a bend in the road. So I can either drop here or a little bit over there. I think if I... A lot of camp options right here. Yeah, look at this. Wait till I get on this southern stretch. I'm gonna camp right here. See, I walked it out. It's just a perfect little spot, man. Should remember how I got in. Camp 7, last camp night. Getting everything. Gotta get water. I had to do water. Luckily, look, good. See, the trip's pretty good. I just put it up here on the bow. 1:59. I believe I'm right before Ross Creek. I'm looking at about a 7-hour day, probably. You know, I turn the cameras on and off, and just your full on. I got to get at least 6 straight paddle hours. High water mark. And so anyway, the high water mark was some good. It was probably about right here. See it? My tent up plenty high enough. I can do that right now. But if I knew a rainstorm was coming, if I knew that ahead of time, that was something was happening, then I would have set up here. The last part, this all goes in the bow and that, and got empty water bottles. So I have to kind of switch when I got empty water bottles. You know, it's the weight. Most of the weight has to be right here, right there, or right here. I mean, that's a lot of weight back here. My dirty clothes, this will all go in the tent bag. Heading out from Camp 7, approximate river mile 159, Ross Creek. But yeah, I got about a 7 or better hour day today. At least 6 hours of paddling, maybe just a bit over 6 hours. Like about 21 miles. I'm averaging about 3.4. River mile 137. I can stay on this side. Even a better camp option. That's an I've probably camped there before. You can get up pretty high. It's just easy to get your boat up out of the There's another one up there. I marked them on my options. transmission line. That's down to 6 spot. River right too. Stripes just part of these sometimes islands. Fresh cow patties, you just can't camp there because wild cat tracks. Sure, I may have camped there before. I'm sure I've camped there, my wife and I. Definitely don't want to camp there. This is not the bend we camped on. Down a different way, but they all look kind of alike, but no. Damn. Something's jumping. Up here somewhere. Looking for Patty's Creek. Look, at Patty's Creek, this river left going down. Now I'm heading for the next navigation feature. You got two currents going. You got the wind current going me one way and nice spot, camp spot. Big old rock. Creek come out of? River left. We should see Dry Creek. They call this Horseshoe Bend. Try to cross that sweep. This. Yep. Man, I'm getting out. That is some little creek I just passed. I don't know if that's one of them. Brush. Where they are, that might have been one of them. I think we'll see something in the water. Movement on both sides. I can kind of stand on this. Some river left, that current kept going pretty steadily all the whole way, but it's coming, dropping this way. Be an old pipeline river left here. Past it. Well, that tree's just recently fallen. Not very necessarily, but it's pretty recent. little channel. Well, I'm gonna try it. Pylons and the old railroad bridge. I always take a little video of them. There's one, and I usually stop sometimes you can't. The water doesn't take into the land strip. But yeah, look at that sucker. Texas 71 bridge. Transmission line. So, well, we're almost there. Take that. They won business.